My name is Elena, and I grew up in a very small town. Our town had only one school. Life was slow, simple, and quiet. But inside our small house, my life was not simple at all. It was full of questions. Questions that only one person could answer. That person was my mother. She was a quiet woman. She always spoke softly. She never shouted, never complained, and never talked about the past. Whenever I asked about my childhood or about my father, she changed the topic. I used to think she was shy, but when I grew older, I realized she was hiding something. A secret. A secret she never wanted me to know. Growing up, I noticed something strange. Other children had photographs of their parents, wedding photos, birthday photos, family pictures. But in our house, there were no photos of my father, not even one. One evening, when I was 10 years old, I asked, "Mama, where is Papa?" She froze. Her hands stopped moving. She looked away and said, "He is not here anymore. That is all you need to know." Her answer felt like a door closing. After that day, I stopped asking. But the question stayed inside my heart, whispering to me every night. My mother worked very hard. She cleaned houses, washed clothes for neighbors, and cooked food at a small hotel. She worked from morning until night. But no matter how tired she was, she always checked on me. She made sure I had food, did my homework, and slept on time. One night, I woke up to drink water. I saw her sitting at the table with her face in her hands. She was crying silently. Her shoulders were shaking. I wanted to ask why she was crying, but I was too scared. That night, I understood something. My mother carried a heavy story inside her heart, a story she didn't want to share. When I turned 14, my questions grew stronger. All my friends talked about their fathers. Some complained, some laughed, some shared memories. I had nothing to say. I didn't even know my father's name. One day my teacher gave us homework to draw a family tree. I stared at the paper for a long time. My hands began to shake. I did not know who to write in the father space. At home, I asked again, "Mama, tell me about Papa. I need it for school." She closed her eyes and whispered, "Elena, please, do not open old wounds." Old wounds? What wounds? What happened? Her silence was louder than any answer. That night, I decided something. One day, I would find the truth. Years passed. I finished school, and I started working in the same small hotel where my mother worked. We worked side by side, cooking, cleaning, and serving food. One rainy afternoon, my mother fell sick. She tried to continue working, but her body gave up. I ran home with her and helped her lie down. She told me not to worry, but I could see the fear in her eyes. That evening, I went to her cupboard to get her warm clothes. While searching, I found a small wooden box hidden under some old saris. My heart beat fast. I opened the box. Inside, there were 3 things. A photograph of my mother when she was young, a hospital birth certificate, a letter. The letter was old, yellow, and torn at the edges. My hands shook as I opened it. The letter said, "Mira, I am sorry. I cannot stay. Forgive me. -D." That was it. No full name, no answers. Just one letter with one broken promise. My father had left. That night, when my mother woke up, I sat beside her with the letter in my hand. Her eyes widened when she saw it. "Where did you find that?" she whispered. I said softly, "Mama, please tell me the truth. I am old enough now. I need to know." She looked tired of running away from her own story. She held my hand and took a deep breath. And then, for the first time in my life, my mother told me everything. When my mother was young, she worked in a railway canteen. She met a man named David, a railway mechanic. He was kind, funny, and full of dreams. My mother fell deeply in love with him. They planned to get married. They even looked for a small house to live in. My mother believed he was the man she would spend her life with. Then she found out she was pregnant. She told David, expecting him to smile, hold her, or promise to take care of her. But instead, he changed. He became distant. He started coming home late. He stopped talking. And one morning, he disappeared. He left a short note, a note of goodbye. My mother looked at me with tears in her eyes and said, "I was alone. I had no money. People judged me. Some told me to give you away, but I could not. You were my child, my Elena." My throat tightened. She continued, "I never told you because I did not want you to feel unwanted. I did not want you to think you were a mistake. You were the best thing that ever happened to me." Tears rolled down my face. So this was the secret she kept for so long. Not because she was hiding the truth, but because she was protecting me. After she finished her story, she looked down. "For years," she said softly, "I waited for him. I waited thinking he might come back. I kept that letter because hope is difficult to throw away. But I stopped waiting the day you were born. You became my future." I held her hand tightly. I realized something big that night. My mother had lived her whole life with heartbreak. Yet she raised me with love. She had every reason to be bitter. Yet she chose kindness. The next morning, she asked me one question. "Do you hate me for hiding the truth?" I shook my head. "You protected me, Mama. You raised me alone. You sacrificed everything. I love you even more now." She cried and hugged me tightly. At that moment, I understood her love more than ever. Life slowly went back to normal. But things were different now. I no longer felt lost. I no longer felt empty. I realized something beautiful. A family is not about who left. It is about who stayed. My mother stayed. She loved me enough to carry a painful secret for years. Today, I tell this story proudly. My mother kept a secret, but she also gave me a life filled with love, and that love is stronger than any truth she hid.